So the today class objective guys, like we will cover like first what is the SD-WAN and how this work. And after the today class, okay, you can easily crack your interview as well as once you make your own lab, you will get the more confidence to work on this technology. Okay. So the first thing guys, like we cover like what is the SD-WAN. तो SD-WAN guys क्या है ये आपका क्या जो we are connecting the site like earlier through like normal IPsec site to site VPN और DA VPN. तो आजकल जो कंपनीज हैं ना these days guys companies are using SD-WAN to connect their site. Okay. So the first guy like this SD-WAN, we have these components like vManage, vSmart, vBond. These are the devices basically working in a control plan. Then these are the devices like vEdge, cEdge. Okay, these are the devices like we use in our data plan. So this solution again, this is totally a GUI solution. So I will show you like how easy to configure the VPN, IPsec VPN, as well as a configuration on the WAN devices. Okay, on the WAN router. सो अर्लियर गाइस लाइक आपको हर डिवाइसेस पे क्या इंडिविजुअल आपको क्या लॉग इन करना पड़ता था, बट एज आई सेड लाइक दिस इज अ टोटली अ GUI सोल्यूशन. ओके, सो सेंट्रलाइज क्या है, आप बी मैनेज पे के थ्रू आप क्या है कॉन्फ़िगरेशन क्या है पुश कर सकते हो. So the main advantage of like SD-WAN, like company why are using this technology. Okay, as I said जो IPsec tunnel है, these IPsec tunnel will be created automatically. So you don't need to do the configuration. I will show you in my lab. Okay, like from site A to site B, once you done the basic configuration, they will build the IPsec tunnel automatically. Okay. Again the failover. So if we have a two WAN connection, if one ISP goes down, the traffic will shift to the second ISP automatically, not your internet traffic as well as your internal traffic. Okay, like from one side to another side. So these days companies earlier they use like private connection to connect their site. Like earlier like you see this common design. Okay, let's say we have a site A and site B. So they if we want to connect site A and site B, we usually purchase two connection. Okay, like one is MPLS, and then we have an internet connection. Then this internet connection, like over this internet connection, we create IPsec site to site VPN. Okay, so this might be our primary path and this might be our secondary path. But you know that like the MPLS connection, okay, these are the private connection, and the private connection are very costly. In SD-WAN, people are basically removing this MPLS connection, okay, and then buying a multiple internet connection. You see, like in SD-WAN, I will show you, you can do like even the application aware routing, like particular application, this will go via ISP-A, and these like a critical application, okay, this will go via ISP-B. So like you will get more granularity. That's why companies like they are removing their all the private connection and buying more internet link, okay, and those internet link basically they are terminating on the SD-WAN route. Okay, so here as I said that's why SD-WAN solution is a cheaper solution, because you are removing your private connection. Again it depends. Okay, if let's say if the company has only 5-6 site, might be in that scenario they will not use the SD-WAN. Okay, so let's say if we have like a 30 or 40 site, and some of the critical site like you're using like MPLS connection, for that scenario guys, people are using now SD-WAN. So they are removing their MPLS connection, okay, and using only the internet connection in the SD-WAN scenario. Okay, so first guys, like how this solution work. Okay, so this is the main thing. Okay, so you need to understand like these are the basically the SD-WAN component, and now I will explain you what is the role of each component. Okay, so here if you see this is like diagram we will use. So this is basically, I have all the controller. Okay. So vManage, vBond, vSmart. I will tell you what is the role of each component. And this is the device where basically we install on each site. Okay. Normally, guys, these controller Cisco will basically we install on a cloud, और either आप इसको on premises पे भी install कर सकते हो, but जो site है, on the site we only install either V-Edge devices or C-Edge. Okay, so here guys, like I have like one site is Delhi and my another office is Bangalore, and both location has dual internet connection. So first guys, like I will show you the what is the role of each component. Okay, then I will show you like here I already deployed the connectivity, like from Delhi to Bangalore we already have a connectivity through the SD-WAN. So we will understand okay how this connectivity work. Okay, and we will also compare with the old technology like DMBP. So the three controller, okay, like vManage, this is a GUI solution. Okay, and through this basically you will push the configuration to your all the devices. And the other controller, which is vSmart, vSmart is basically used for controlling the routing. Just like in BGP, okay, we have a BGP router factor. So all the like edge devices, okay, whether C edge or V edge, all my route I will send to the vSmart. Then this vSmart forward the routing information to my other site. So just like in BGP, okay, like BGP, we have a router factor. This is the same thing like in SD-WAN, we have a vSmart. Or in OSPF, we have a DR router. The same role basically doing our vSmart in SD-WAN. Then the third controller, which is vBond. A vBond basically help if you want to onboard the new router. Okay, let's say you have a site where you have to configure the either V-Edge or C-Edge. Okay, that will help you to onboard the new router. Okay. Then on the edge router, okay, which is basically responsible for your data plan traffic. So we have two type of router. Like one is like Biptela devices. So these are number like V-Edge 100, V-Edge 1000, or you can also use the virtual appliance, okay, which is known as V-Edge cloud devices. And on the C edge, these are Cisco devices. So you can see that like these days, okay, Cisco are introducing Catalyst 8000 router. So on this router, you can use the SD-WAN image as well as the normal image. Okay. So the only main difference between C edge and V edge, the C edge also support the EIGRP routing protocol. On the other hand, V edge, they are not. That's the only difference. So in my topology, I use the V-Edge devices. Okay. So normally, like in SD-WAN, you will not see the like big difference. Okay, like whether you are using V-Edge or C-Edge, because I will show you all the configuration is GUI, and you are pushing the configuration through the vManage. The only difference you will also see the show command. I will show you okay like what is the show command in V-Edge and what are the show command in C-Edge. So in this topology, if you see, we have like these are the devices C edge, okay, V edge we are installing on the site. Okay, so this is also like we have a Bangalore site, and here we have installed the V edge device. Okay, and again these three devices we are assuming like I have seen companies are only deploying on the cloud side. Okay. Okay, so then understanding like how what is this VPN feature. So VPN feature in SD-WAN is just like a VRF. So here, like by default, this C edge and V edge, they have like two default VPN. One is VPN 0 and other is like VPN 512. Okay. So VPN 0 is for your transport VPN, which is basically used for a underlay. And this is like for a management. Okay, so the devices has one dedicated management port, and by default that management port, okay, is under this VRF or either this VPN. Okay. The rest of VPN we call service VPN. Okay. So if we compare this, okay, like if you remember when I took the DM VPN class, okay, like I show you the setup, like this is my internet link. So I have a router A where we have deploy the DM VPN configuration. Okay, so I put this interface in VRF, let's say A. In and the other side also the internet link I put in VRF A. Then we have a LAN interface, okay, which I put in VRF B and VRF B. So assuming like this is my data center DC, then we create the tunnel interface, okay, DM VPN tunnel interface, and which is also participating in VRF B. So all the LAN traffic from this branch location, as it is coming on VRF B, and it is leading through this tunnel interface towards to my data center. Okay. Similarly, in SD-WAN, the internet link we will always put in VPN 0. Okay, so in DM VPN, like we normally this called from connectivity A is this public IP to this public IP underlay. Here in SD-WAN, the connectivity from this side to this side, okay, it is through via VPN 0. The service VPN, so other than VPN 0 and 152, this is we called service VPN. Okay. So the LAN interface will be in VPN 1. So all my traffic, okay, was coming to this VPN, and through the tunnel interface, it will land to this interface. So similar concept, like if you remember when I completed the DM VPN this setup, okay, the same way as SD-WAN work, okay. So the VPN 0 you can see for underlay, and the service VPN, this is basically for overlay. So in this topology, if you see, I have configured service VPN VPN 1, which is VRF 1. Okay, so if I show you like this is the router, okay, my Delhi router. So if you say show IP route, it will show you this is the route for VPN 0, and this is the route for a VPN 1. Okay, so if you see, by default we have a Delhi location. In Delhi location, this is a LAN subnet, and this is a LAN subnet of my Bangalore. And if I try to reach, like let's say if this machine, this Delhi LAN host, okay, try to reach this destination, which is on the remote side, okay, Bangalore side. So if we go to the Delhi router, Delhi host router, okay, and checking the routing table, let's first see the connectivity. So show IP route. So these are the basically the 2.0. These are the basically Delhi, so the Bangalore LAN subnet. Okay. And if we try to ping 192.168.2.1 source my LAN IP, so we do have a reachability. Okay. And if we do the trace route, like 192.168.2.1, source is 192.168.1.1, it will show you like the first request goes to this device, which is 10.1.1.1. Then as the SD-WAN, they build the point-to-point tunnel. Then you will see the next hop IP will be this 10.1.2.1, and the third hop will be like the Bangalore LAN router. So here point is like this interface I have configured in VPN 1, which is called service VPN, and these two interface I have configured in VPN 0. So similar like a DMVPN, VPN 0 is basically underlay network. Service VPN is basically your overlay network. Okay. So this is a VPN concept, okay, in SD-WAN. So here, if you see this PPT, okay, so here like it show you like a the internet link, okay, and the MPLS link. This is basically called transport VPN, okay, which is VPN 0, and the service VPN, which is basically going towards to your LAN interface, okay, LAN, and the management is VPN 512, okay. And these are the basically the overall architecture of the SD-WAN. So usually guys, these devices like the control devices, normally you will deploy it on the cloud. Okay, so like if you purchasing the solution, this SD-WAN solution from Cisco, normally these controller are on the cloud. It's up to you. You can also install these controller on the on premises, but normally like you see like on your site like data center branches, you will only install either VH or CH, and it's not like necessary like in SD-WAN you will only use the internet link. You can use the MPLS link also, but these days guys like you, because SD-WAN solution is also not very cheap, okay. So the main purpose of companies like using SD-WAN, they are basically cut off the MPLS connection in their network and saving the cost. Okay. So here, guys, like I'm not uh, making that diagram, like making this diagram from the start. Okay. So if you want to make this diagram, like here, like I am using the server, okay, which has a 256 GB RAM. So I believe like if you have a server with 96 GB RAM, you can make your own lab, or you can borrow the server from the cloud for a 1 month or 2 month. Okay, it will be cheaper. Okay. So for making your own lab, guys, I have followed this link. Okay. So believe me, guys, like here, when you're making your own lab, first I will show you. Okay. So this is the link I have. This is the website I have followed. Okay. So if you follow this website, okay, if you don't have these images, I will provide you the images. But if you follow this website, okay, you can easily set up your own lab on EVNG. So I'm not go today. I'm not going to show you this like the main thing like in the lab. The first thing, all the VH make sure they will communicate to their controller. So this communication happen through the certificate. So as in the EVNG, you need to make your own certificate, then upload those certificate on all the devices. But in the real environment, okay, it is very easy. So you normally you will get the certificate, like let's say in your company you already have a server, CA server, okay, who will basically provide you the certificate. But here I don't have any CA server, so I make, because these devices basically they are Linux based, okay. So you can make one of the device as a CA, then generate the certificate, then you need to upload those certificate on all the devices, okay. So in the real environment it is very easy, but when you're making your own lab, it will take time, okay. So if you follow this link, okay, you will easily create your own lab. So I'm not showing you the configuration, okay, like how these uh, like devices, okay, communicating with the controller. But the only way like you can verify this, okay, like if you go to the Delhi VH side router, okay, show control connection. So this will tell you like, do you have the communicate with your vBond or vManage or vSmart or not. So right now I have a communication. That's why the status is showing up. So right now, guys, like each this location has two internet link. Okay, so through the both the link. Okay, they are basically communicating to the vBond and then vManage and the vSmart. Okay, so as I said, like in the real world, uh, connecting your device to the controller very easy, but when you're making your own lab, it requires a lot of work. Okay, so that's why you need to follow this website. Okay, so the basic configuration first you need to do on any devices. Okay, let me show you the basic configuration. So when you're onboarding these devices, like first you need to configure the basic configuration like VPN 0 and VPN 0. Let's say I want to add a new site. Okay, so I need to do the basic configuration, which is like a let's say this is internet cloud. Okay, so I have a like another C edge or V edge device. I need to do the basic configuration like giving the IP address to this interface, pointing the default route, and telling who is my vBond. Okay, so the basic configuration you will do. So these are the basic command. But once we done the basic configuration, then all the configuration I will show you, we will push through via vManage. So this is like the basic configuration. Like this is a VPN 0, and by default under this VPN 0, this is the interface already allocated. Okay, so it depends like sometime like we use Ethernet 0 for the management, then we will put this interface under the VPN, which is management VPN 512. Okay, but the normal configuration you require, like under this group system configuration, each edge device must have the system ID unique, site ID must be unique, and who is my vBond. And then this is the interface configuration which is going towards the ISP side. So if I show you, I already done this configuration. Okay, so if you go to the V edge, if you do the show running configuration, I already defined the system ID. I already defined the system IP is just like a router ID. Then I already defined what is my vBond, and then I already configure my interface, okay, which is going towards to the ISP side. Okay, so here I have a two interface. Okay, which first one is gigabit 0 via 0. I have already defined the IP address, and here when you're configuring the WAN interface, you also need to define the color. Okay, later on I will tell you like here guys, I have defined this color, like one internet is bridge internet and other my internet connection color is blue. Later on guys, I will show you how you can play with this color ID. Okay, so you can make, let's say if you want to make this link as a primary and this link as a secondary, so it's just like a tag. So I can say, hey, if the color code is bridge internet, make sure that is my primary link. If the color is, let's say, blue, make sure this is my secondary link. Okay, so every WAN connection, okay, this is a necessary. We need to define the color code. Okay, it's just a guy's tag. So I will show you by default. It's just a name. Okay, they have a like default color tag. So for the internet, they have a different color tag, and for the private connection, they have a different color tag. So by default, I will show you, if you not configuring any policy, they will do ECMP, equal cost multiple path. Both the internet link will be your active, but Later on, I will show you this is our vManage, okay? I will configure the policy like a route map. I will make one of the internet link as a primary and other link as a secondary. So every internet link, the WAN connection, okay, make sure it is color, okay. So normally, so this is guys our vManage, okay. This is a vManage. Let me log into the vManage. As I said, like this is normally you will see in the real world. This will install on the cloud, okay. System ID we see. System ID is like route ID. Every device must has a unique system ID. Even on the vManage, yeah, yeah. Any it's just like a it's not IPv4 address. It's just like a OSPF. When we configuring the OSPF, the OSPF need a OSPF router ID. Similarly, in SD-WAN, every device require a system IP, okay? System ID, okay, which is like just like a router ID, okay. All devices, even vSmart, vManage. Okay, also. Oh, all right. So let me log into guys this vManage, okay. So this is as I said, like normally this will install on a cloud, okay. So here guys, you will see the whole view, okay. So this is your centralized device who is managing your all devices, okay. So right now, like uh, the way I have configured this topology, okay. So these are my devices. On the LAN, I'm running OSPF. And these vEdge, they are communicate with vSmart over OMP routing protocol. Okay. So later on, guys, we will also discuss with OMP more about OMP routing protocol. But as I said, like your vSmart, all my like all the LAN information, this router gets through by OSPF. Then this OSPF route redistribute into the OMP. Then this will send to the vSmart. So as I said, this device working as a BGP router factor or in OSPF DR. All the location, okay, all the devices they will advertise their route to vSmart. Then vSmart further will send to the other location V edge or C edge. Okay. This is how the routing work, but through you cannot use any other routing protocol between your C edge and vSmart. Only you can use OMP routing protocol, overlay management routing protocol. Okay, so here guys, like this is our vSmart. So this will show you like all the information. Okay, how many vSmart we have, how many WAN edge devices we have, how many vWAN, and how many vManage. In some company might be because like when you're configuring the BGP router factor, you might have one router factor as a primary, second router factor as a secondary. So in the real world might be you have a two vSmart instead of one. The WAN edge depend like how many site you have. Similarly, like vBond, might be you have two primary and secondary, and vManage again depend because if your vManage goes down, there will be no impact from site A to site B. This device is mainly for pushing the configuration. Okay. So in Palo Alto, like we have a Panorama, which is like centralized device pushing the configuration. If Panorama goes down, there will be no impact to the firewall. Similarly, if your vManage goes down, there will be no impact to your firewall. So through this centralized solution, okay, like if we want to check the show command, like we did like show IP route on a CLI, but you don't need to go individual devices. Through this device, you can run the show command. Okay. So like if we go to the monitor, configuration or devices. So these are my devices, okay. The monitor network. Thing is not responding very fast. Let me refresh the manage. Okay. So the only thing I like, once your device is, so once you've done the basic configuration, like configuring this interface, and they successfully communicate to the connector to the controller, then I will show you like how easily you will configure your LAN interface. How you can, I have applied the OSPF configuration. It's very easy. And once I have configured the LAN interface, they automatically build the IPsec tunnel, okay, between all the site. Then by default, as I said, like both the internet link will be working as active. Later on, I will show you, once you configure the centralized policies, okay, you can make one link as a primary and second link as a secondary. Then in the end, we will revise, and we will like also discuss normally what are the questions they ask during the interview. Okay. So believe me, guys, like in SD-WAN, they will ask you very basic question like what is OMP routing protocol, what are the SD-WAN component, what are the BPN, okay, how this work, okay, how this SD-WAN work. If you have like very basic this knowledge, okay, you can easily crack the interview. Plus, like if you go through my this PPT like almost like 100+ site. Believe me, guys, like if you read this old PPT, okay, you will like I would say like you will not expert, but you will get like 80% of the SD-WAN if you go through this PPT. And you will get like more confidence when you're making your own lab and do this practical. Okay. So this is like again my vManage. Let me go to the configuration devices. Okay, now it is responding. So monitor, network, and these are my devices, guys. Let's say if I am on a Delhi router, I can see like what are the configuration on this device. Let's say if we want to do check some show command, like let's say I want to check the show route. So either BGP route or normal routing table. So you can check the routing table of this Delhi router. Okay. So this is my Delhi router, and these are the route are installed. Like some of the route via connector, some of the route via OMP, OSPF. And these are the like my Delhi router interfaces. So we have like a two WAN interface. One has public IP. This is a system ID. This is my interface going towards to my LAN. Okay, and the configuration, guys, normally we do through our template. So in my topology, I'm using only vEdge devices. So let's say if you have a mix up, like some location you have a C edge, some location you have a V edge, then V edge require a different template and C edge require a different template. Okay. So you can see like when you creating the template, it will ask you what are the devices. Okay, select the model. So in my topology, I have only two V edge. So I already create this template. And you have a guys two template, okay, like one is device template. Normally guys I will use this, and other is feature template. Okay, so I will show you what is the difference between device template and the feature template. So as I said, like normally we use device template, okay, and this is the template, okay, which is we apply to the devices. So right now you see this is my template, and the template has attached the two devices. So right now, guys, we have only two locations. One is Delhi, one is Bangalore. So let me show you guys, like, let's say, because if you see like all my configuration, okay, like configuring the LAN interface, configuring the OSPF, I have done through via template, okay. So right now, if you see, this is my LAN interface. The LAN interface must have this IP address, must running OSPF, And even in the OSPF, make sure I am, whatever the route I'm learning through via OMP, redistribute those route into the OSPF domain. All this I have configuration I have done through vManage, okay, not individually on the router. The same setup I have configured like on my location. I'm assuming I'm following the standard, okay. On my LAN interface, I'm running OSPF. Let's say I have a further site and I'm all my LAN interface running OSPF, and whatever the route we are learning from OMP routing protocol, we are redistribute into the uh, OSPF domain. Okay, just like earlier, if you remember, let's say you have a DMVPN tunnel, and on the DMVPN tunnel you are running BGP, and on the LAN interface you are running OSPF. But in case of SD-WAN, instead of BGP, the protocol is OMP. Okay, so here guys, let me show you like the template configuration, okay, view. So when you're using the device template, it step by step show you like a, okay, what configuration you need to do. Okay, like first, like if you see these tab, okay, like this is the basic configuration. Like if we want to change the host name or standard AAA configuration, anything, okay, then this is the VPN configuration. So transport basically VPN 0, management is VPN 512. Then the service VPN, which is going to work to the your LAN interfaces. Okay, here you will see like other configuration like OSPF, or then you have like additional template configuration. Okay, so step by step, like I will show you, like I haven't touched this basic configuration. Okay, so then I move to the transport and management. Okay, again this configuration I haven't touched, so I have configured this VPN 0, and when you click here, okay, again, so guys not responding very quickly. So again, I haven't touched this, okay, because on this diagram I haven't connected any management interface. Okay, so I don't require. Mainly I have configured the service VPN. In the service VPN, the first, if you click here, edit, I have configured two feature template. Okay, so first, what is feature template? Okay, so first, like we have configured the LAN interface, and then on that LAN interface, I have configured the OSPF. So if I show you guys like here, so when you click here, you can create a template. Okay, this template is feature template. So feature template basically is like a specific service like OSPF template, BGP template, similar like when you configuring the policy on a firewall. And when you're creating the policy on a firewall, let's say in that policy, you need to create some object group. So there is two options to create an object group. Okay. While creating a policy, it will give you the option to create an object group, or there is a other section tab where you can create an object group. Okay. Similarly, you can create the feature template from here under the device template, or there is a other separate section, okay, where you can create the feature template. So here, like if I show you how, let's say right now I'm using OSPF, so I will show you like one of, so you can like see how we can push the configuration. Okay, so right now I am running OSPF here. I'm running OSPF area 0. Okay, and under the OSPF I have redistributed the OMP routing protocol, but right now I will show you through this vManage. I will configure this interface in OSPF area 2, and definitely on this router I need to configure the same area ID, otherwise my OSPF will not form the neighborship. Okay, so I will show you like how easily I can push the configuration to all my these two devices. Okay, because the template where I'm doing the changes, it is already bind with these two devices. Okay, so let's say I want to configure the new feature template. Okay, so I'm going to this under this device template. This is the template which we apply to the devices, and this is basically set of the feature template. Okay, this device template. So I'm going to service VPN, and if you see edit, and here if you want to run any other creating the other routing protocol, you can use, but I'm using like OSPF. You can either see the existing configuration. Like first I will show you the existing configuration, then I will create a new template. Okay, so existing configuration, if you see the OSPF configuration, okay, so first you need to give a name, then the description, these are must. Okay, and the basic configuration I have done like under this OSPF I am redistribute this protocol OMP. Okay, I think this is by default redistributor, but if you're configuring EIGRP, then it is not. Then if you go down, this will tell you how many interface you are running OSPF. Okay, so I am running area 0. There is only one interface, which is my LAN interface, gigabit 0Y1, which is going towards to my LAN router. And I'm already advertising the default route, and I am using the always keyword. Okay, so if you remember like normal CLI configuration, default information originate always. So all this configuration I am pushing through the template. This is the existing template. Now let's create the new template. Okay, like create template. So this is like the OSPF template, guys. So let's say I'm using OSPF area 2, and I need to give the description and router ID. So here the thing, okay, one is global, one is device specific. Okay, so here guys, this will be device specific. Okay, I will show you, because every V edge, if we running the OSPF, make sure they have a unique router ID. So this will be device specific. Okay, so global means this will be unique for all the site. So this like a AD value, okay, 110 and then redistribute the redistribute. I'm configuring the new redistribute, and I want to redistribute the OMP routing protocol. Okay, add. Then area. So as I said, like let's configure this in area 2, and then set. This will be select the area type. Like if you remember, there's a like area type stub area, normal area. I want to use the normal area. I want to configure an interface. Which interface I want to configure in area 2? So if you see the diagram, our area interface gigabit 0Y1, which is going towards to the LAN. Okay, and I don't want to change the hello time, that time, add configuration. So then, do you want to also originate the default route? Yes, on. Do you want to use the always keyword? Yes, and save. So right now, if you see earlier, we were using this template. Now we are using this template. And once we say save, then have we saved the configuration? Okay. So let me go to back edit. So area 2, save. And it should show like applied. So let me go back. Okay, so edit. Okay, now it is showing update. Update, yeah. So once we say update, so this will push the configuration. Okay, just one second, guys. So edit. I'm going back to the service VPN. Here we create the edit. Okay, it is basically showing again this. So let me select this OSPF area 2, save, update. And once we say the update, yeah, now it is basically pushing. Okay, now it is saying, okay, as we change that device template and that device template bind to these two devices. So now here you will see those parameter. Okay, like you see like some of the parameter is global, some of the device specific. Okay, if you see the here, it will show you what are the device specific feature. Okay, so you see like under this OSPF domain, the router ID is device specific. You can change. Okay, you can change like I already configure this value, so they basically fetch this information from my previous configuration. That's why it's not showing here. Okay, otherwise when you say update, it will tell you, hey, first provide this information. By as this information is basically fetching more from my previous configuration, so I don't need to provide it. Okay, so here guys, once we say, let's say update, next it will show you like these. I'm going to push the configure, and okay, once we this configuration push the device, the result will be my OSPF neighbor will be down. So these are the like the LAN Delhi LAN router. So I need to configure the same area ID. Similarly here also I need to configure the same area ID. So this is how we done the configuration, okay, through the template. So let me show you guys like now what is the result. Okay, so the result will be if we go to the Delhi this device, okay, Delhi LAN router. So let's see the show IP OSPF neighbor. This timer is now expiring. Sooner like you will see the neighborship will be down. The reason why, if we run the debug IP OSPF hello packet, it will complain the area ID is mismatch. Okay, you can also check the configuration. Like if you go to the Delhi router, okay, this VH devices. So the VH devices, like if I go to the VH devices, okay, show run. So if you see the OSPF configuration, so this is my OSPF configuration, and router OSPF router ID default information originate always, but the interface is not to guys. So area 2, either you remember like when we configuring the template, there is add keyword. Sometime when you forget to click on add, those configuration is not taken. Okay, that is why it is not showing area 2 or any interface. So that might be like even my OSPF goes down because right now on this device, no interface running OSPF. So let me go back and see the configuration guys. Okay, so it is good guys. Like again, like we are going to the template configuration, so it is revising to you guys. So the configuration template. So this is a device. So edit, again service VPN, and if we see edit, so now if we see the existing configuration, what we forget, okay, so I think we forget to enable the OSPF on our LAN interface. So you see like redistribute showing OMP and area it's showing no information. I think like when we made the area ID, we forget to click on add. So here guys, like edit survey, let me see if I can modify this. Okay, yeah. Okay, I think I cannot modify here. If you go to the feature here, guys, like you will see the OSPF area. This is the difference between feature template and device template. But we only applied the device template to the devices. Okay. So OSPF area ID, edit. Here guys, you can edit. Okay, so I last time I forget, let's say configure a new area ID 2, add interface gigabit 0 via 1, and then here I need to say add, and here also need to add. Now it is showing area 2 and running one interface. Okay, I need to say update, and even if you are updating the template now, the feature template, it will as that feature template called under the device template, and that device template bind to this interface, this devices, it will push the configuration. Okay, configure the devices. Okay, and once this device configuration push, okay, you will see the result. The OSPF neighborship is already down, but if you see the VH configuration, this will show you, hey, my one interface running OSPF in area 2. So if you see show running configuration, now you see like area 2, this interface. But obviously, now if you go to the Delhi LAN router, you will see OSPF area is down because of area mismatch ID. Okay, so if they debug OSPF, already debug is already on. So sooner I think you will get the message, okay, the area ID is mismatch. Okay, or if you don't need to wait, you can simply configure the interface. So my interface gigabit 0 by 0, this is running towards to my VH devices, and this is running area 0. If I configure this interface in area 2, we should have a neighborship. So let's configure this. Okay, so interface gigabit 0 by 0, IP OSPF1 area 2, and once both sides area IDs match, we should see the neighborship. Show IP. Yeah, now you see my neighborship is up now. Show IP OSPF route. Show IP route OSPF. Now sooner we will learn the route through via OSPF. Okay. Similarly, guys, like as that template push the configuration on Bangalore side also, we also need to change the area ID on the Bangalore router. Okay. So on the Bangalore router side, the LAN router side, this is a normal device, guys. Again, don't confuse. Okay, this is our SD-WAN edge device. So we are not doing any CLA configuration here because all the configuration we push through via template. On the Bangalore LAN side, we need to change the area ID area 2. And once the both side area IDs match, you will see the OSPF neighborship. And then again, you will see the connectivity from Daddy to Bangalore. Okay. So you see, like if you see the template, like once you done this configuration, once you configure the through the template LAN interface configuration OSPF, it automatically build the IPsec tunnel. Okay, so you don't need to do anything like for configuring the IPsec. That is the beauty of SD-WAN. The IPsec tunnel created automatically. Okay. So on the Bangalore side, let's provide the connectivity end to end. Okay, gigabit 0 by 0. Change the OSPF. Oh, it is not running OSPF. Show IP OSPF neighbor, and show maybe I have applied the configuration on the through this network configuration. Okay, this is the old way for enabling the OSPF. Let's use the IP OSPF area 1, sorry, area 2. Okay, so that's basically, this is guys the template. Okay, so this is how we push the configuration and applied the template to the devices. Okay, now moving to the routing. Okay, the routing is basically we use OMP routing protocol. I will also cover like some interview topic like what is TLOC. So these are the guys, like as I said, you require when you making your own lab. So the main difference, guys, like on the C edge and the V edge, the C edge, yeah, the C edge, the command start from show SD-WAN. Like, and on the V edge, the command start with show BFD. Okay, so we only show. So in the C edge, we don't need to V edge. We don't need to use the keyword. Like let's say on the C edge, the command will be show SD-WAN BFD session, but on the V edge, the command will be show BFD session. Okay. Similarly, like guys, show OMP route, show SD-WAN OMP route. This is a different. Okay. In the C edge, instead of a VPN, because Cisco technology, we use VR. But the perspective of like a vManage, as we pushing the configuration through a vManage, it is same. Okay, so now if you see that, like now this is also up. Again, if we see the connectivity from end to end, so we are going to the Delhi LAN router side. So let me disable this. Okay, show IP route. Now again, we are learning the Bangalore LAN route. Okay, and we do have a reachability. Okay, so next moving to the routing part. Okay, so the routing will be OMP. Okay, so as I said, there's two routing. Okay, like one is underlay, similar like a DMVPN overlay. Underlay is VPN 0, so we're just simply pointing the route default out towards the ISP. If we're running BGP, we can also use BGP over the internet link. Okay, but the main thing I like all the routing with the vSmart controller. Okay, it is through via this protocol. Okay, overlay management routing protocol, OMP. So OMP routing protocol is just like a BGP, guys. Okay, so it's just like a BGP routing protocol, and I will show you in OMP. It is also not making the routing decision based on a single attribute. Like in OSPF, we just only see the cost. In BGP, we have multiple attributes. Then we will decide which is our best path. Similarly, guys, like OMP has a multiple attribute. Okay. Okay, so let me show you guys like what are those attributes. And here guys, like if you go to this edge device, so you can see show OMP peer. So you will always have a pairing with your vSmart. Just like a BGP, we only configure the pairing with our route vector. So in V edge, the command will be show OMP peer. In C edge, the command will be show SD-WAN OMP peer. So if you see, like we have only pairing with the vSmart. Okay. Then you will see the show OMP route. This is equivalent to in BGP show IP BGP. So it will show you all the route. Okay, show IP BGP. So show IP BGP, you will see all the route like from multiple path. Okay, even your backup path also. The show MP route. This is basically show you all the route. Okay, so if you run this command, show OMP route. So this is my one route, second route, and it will show you all the detail. Okay, maybe like if you want to see the specific route, show OMP route, tell me the detail 192.168.2.0, how many paths we have. So it will show you, okay, you have to reach this destination, we have a two paths. Okay. One is via busy internet, one is via blue. So this is my color of internet. Okay. So by default, if you see this diagram, so by default SD-WAN create two tunnel. Okay, one is via this link and other is via this link. This internet color has beige, this has blue. Okay, so this is a BGP table. Again, this is not a routing table. the routing table contains the best path. So in the BGP table, you can see I'm learning this route. This is basically, guys, called T-log. Okay, what is T-log? This is the interview question. They will ask in SDN what is T-log. The route. This is our system ID and internet color, WAN color ID, which internet, and encapsulation IPsec. All these three called T-log. Okay. System ID, color ID, and encapsulation. So you can also use encapsulation GRE, but definitely as you're using internet link, you will always use IPsec encapsulation, guys. So this is the interview question. Even 2 days back, I have given the interview. They just asked me like in SD-WAN, okay, regarding SD-WAN interview question, what are the SD-WAN component, what is T-log ID, and what is OMP. That is it. Okay, so I will show you like how this will impact when you manipulating the path. Okay. 4 लिंक का आज में इंटरनेट लिंक है ये 2 टर्न लगा दूंगा क्योंकि इतने 2 ही नहीं टोटल 4 टर्न नहीं होनी चाहिए. Okay, so yeah, that is a good question. Okay, my brother is saying like as how many tunnel will we seen. Okay, so the way we can check the tunnel, okay, which is show BFD session. So here, guys, yeah, you will see 4 tunnel. Okay, one tunnel from bridge to bridge. Okay, second tunnel you will see from here to this. Similarly, from this interface you will see this tunnel, and then from blue to blue. Okay, so you will see the 4 tunnel, and the way we can verify the tunnel by this command, show BFD session. You can see like this is the system ID of Bangalore. Only Bangalore has similar like a 2 internet link connection. Okay, just like a Delhi. So you will see the 4 tunnel. Okay. So you will see like my this is my source tunnel IP. So this side is 2.2.2. This is my IP, and 5.5.2. These are my public IP. Okay. You will see the 4 tunnel, and show VFT session. Session is up. How long it is up? That is the time. Okay. So this is a command to see what is the status of the tunnel. Okay. Show VFT session. Okay. And show OMP route. Show MP route 192.168.2.0/24. So it will show you one is path via PG internet, one is blue, only 2 paths. Okay, and if you see by default in the routing table, show IP route a BPN 1. So by default, the traffic is going via bridge internet. There is a reason. Okay, so I already configured one policy. I will show you like what policy I have configured, and due to that policy, I have configured this link as a primary and my second link as a secondary. Okay. I already deployed that configuration. Let me remove that configuration. I will show you what is the default behavior, and later on, if you want to make one link as a primary and second link as secondary, how can we do this? Okay, so let me guide like the configuration which I made. Okay, which is through via policies. Okay, let me revert back those changes. Okay, then I will first show you the default behavior. Okay, and before showing this, okay, I will show you like this is the command guide, like show IP, show OMP route. This will show you like all the information, and there is like attribute list. Okay, let me find out what are those attributes. Okay, just like a BGP, as I said, OMP is not making the decision based on single attribute. Okay, yeah, this is a list, guys. So this is a list which OMP prefer. Okay, just like a BGP. Normally, I use this route preference, just like a local preference, which route has the highest local preference. That will be my best path. Okay. So I show you like this is how I have configured one ISP as a primary and one ISP as a secondary by just setting the local preference. Okay. So let me go to the vmanage, then revert back those changes. Okay. So I already set the local preference in OMP and configure the one ISP as a primary. Okay. So let me revert back those changes. Then by default, you will see both ISP work as active activity. So believe me, guys, like if you read this PPT 2 or 3 times, you will be easily crack the interview regarding the SD-WAN. Okay. And not only interview, you will also easily understand or configure the SD-WAN in your company network. So going to the vManage, let me revert back those changes. And by default, you will see I will learn the route through via both ISP. Okay. And in the end, you can ask the question. Okay. In the end, we will ask the question. So this is like responding slow. So I'm going to the, so one is guys like we use template, other is policy. Okay. Policy is basically when you're doing the net flow configuration, when you making any decision, when you're doing the QS policy, I will tell you what is the difference between local policy and centralized policy. Right now, because of this policy, which is like a activated, okay, true. Because of this policy, one ISP is primary and another is secondary. Let me disable this policy. Okay, so deactivate. Yeah, and once it is deactivated, in the routing table, you will see ECMP. So you will see Biz Internet as well as Blue Internet. So show IP route. Either you can say specific like show IP route VRF0, show IP route VRF1 on your CH devices. On the VH, it will be VPN0 and VPN1. So if you say show IP route VPN1, now you see I'm learning this route via both internet link, okay, Biz as well as Blue. So this is the default behavior, just like a Cisco, like one is the routing table, one is SAP table. So here is show IP fib. This will show you the more detail. Like if you want to reach these subnet, okay, we have a 4 path. Okay, so we have a 4 path. Okay, so one is like which, so because we have 4 tunnel, guys. Okay, so it is showing all the path, but this is a by default behavior. Okay, so by default you can say it is doing ECMP. Both link will be active. Okay, so that is why, guys, like it is a necessary. Okay, it is a necessary when you configuring the WAN link, you always need to define this color code. They have a predefined color code. Okay, like I have a list also in this PPT. It depends you are using private link or public link. Okay, so if you go to, yeah, these are the color list. Okay, so right now we are using like we have a 2 internet link. One I have defined this color which internet, one I have defined blue. Again, It's just a tag, guys, okay? The private color they have like these, okay? It's just a name, okay? Some people are like say gold and giving silver. Gold is primary and silver is secondary. No, it's just a name. This is just a tag value. Later on, we will play with this tag value by configuring a policy, okay? Because this is basically using T-log. So I can say, hey, the route has this T-log. So what is T-log? T-log is system ID, color ID, and encapsulation. Okay, so let me show you guys like the way how I can set the primary ISP. So if we go to the policies, configuration, policies, so local policy we normally apply to the single device like your edge. Central policy we basically define to our controller, okay, like vSmart. So I using central policy, and if you see the configuration, like view, I set this configuration will apply inbound to my D site. So what is this site? Okay, so this is my branch site like Delhi and Bangalore. I have configured this site list, and in this site list I have configured the site ID. Okay, like Bangalore has site ID number 2. Sorry, Delhi has site ID 2. Bangalore has site IDs number is 3. So if I show you what is this branch, so you can see like when you, because you need some parameter, okay, to match the policies. Like when you click on the custom option and list, these are my guys my list, okay. So like if you go to the site, the branch has included site number 2 and site number 3. So site number 2 I'm using on Delhi side. I have only 2 branch office, and Bangalore is site number 3. Okay, so you can also configure like in the under the route map specific prefix list. You can also configure the some tlog value. So these are basically we use for the matching the statement, okay. Like if you remember under the route map, match IP prefix list, then do this. So these are the basically the list, okay, the attribute which are we using for a match statement. Okay, traffic topology. This might be here. Okay, let me see. I remember I have configured. Yeah, this is the thing, guys. Okay, so I have configured this LP dash color. I said, hey, if the color is WAN connection is blue, set the local preference is 100. If the color is beige, then set the preference is 200. Okay, so this is like basically when we applied this, okay, then this the route coming from this internet link get the preference 200. That is why earlier you see all the route is going via this ISP connection, okay. So higher local preference, just like a BGP, okay, higher local preference will be the best, okay. Okay, so again, as I said, guys, like you will get the confidence only when you do this lab by your own. So definitely, guys, you need to make your own lab. And so right now, this policy is not applied. In the way we can apply the policy, so this is a policy, okay. So you need to basically activate, and once we activate this, okay, this is going to the vSmart. So this is the central policy. This is going to the vSmart, and once it is applied to the vSmart, it will make the which internet as a primary, okay. So again, if you go to the Delhi VH side, okay, do the show IP route. So you will see all my route now going through via this interface, okay, bridge internet. Earlier it was doing the load sharing, okay, like bridge as well as blue. So summary, guys, as I said, I'm not covering this whole thing, but believe me, if you read this PPT 1 or 2 times, okay, you can easily. So again, summary. So the interview question they will ask you, what are the SD-WAN component, okay? So SD-WAN component, these are the SD-WAN component. We manage, use to push the configuration to the end devices. Be smart, controlling the routing, okay. Acting as a BGP router factor or in OSPF as a DR. B-bond help you to onboarding the router. B-edge and C-edge, these are the data plan devices. B-edge, Viptela devices, these are the number. C-edge, Cisco devices, which are the Catalyst 8000. What is VPN? VPN is VRF. 0 and 512. 0 is for transport VPN. 512 is man event VPN. Then service VPN, these are for overlay. Okay. VPN 0 is for underlay. What is TLOC? TLOC is basically combination of a system ID, color ID, and encapsulation.